Hi everyone and welcome to today's webinar, VoIP within modern business. I'm Liam, I'm from VoIP Telecom.
And I'm Dean from VoIP Cloud Wholesale. Together we'll show you how our platform helps both partners and businesses thrive in modern communication space.
Here's what we'll cover today. Who are we? VoIP within modern business, real-world scenarios, using our hosted PBX, and it will be a live demonstration, and then we'll do a Q&A.
This is a short 45-minute session with a Q&A at the end. You can post your questions using the Q&A option at the top of the Teams window throughout the session. We will respond to these questions at the end, or if time and relevant, we will automatically jump in and complete those questions then and there. We will also share our contact details if you'd like to connect with us directly. At VoIP Cloud Wholesale, due to a lack of easy-to-use hosted PBX systems in the market these days, our company built our own user-friendly hosted PBX service and has continued to develop that over the past 12 years. We use this system to power resellers and partners with carrier-grade infrastructure, PBX and billing platforms to scale their VoIP business.
And at VoIP Telecom, we deliver these services directly to customers and businesses so they can use those PBX features directly through our online platform.
Traditional phone systems are costly, rigid, and stuck in one place. Businesses and their IT partners are struggling to justify the ongoing costs of hardware, support, and limitations.
That's why VoIP is winning. With cloud-based solutions, you get cost-effective savings. You can easily scale your business as it grows. You can obviously adjust your PBX and flexibility to work anywhere, which is a great feature.
And those benefits extend not only to businesses, but also partners to deliver these services to their clients and assist them in any way needed.
We'll take a moment to go through some call flow scenarios that we've previously done. Following this, we'll walk you through the hosted PBX features. To get you started with the first scenario, we have hospitality and restaurants. In this particular industry, we find that a lot of our customers will want an inbound number to go to a time condition, which will have their rostering times or the times that the restaurant are open to customers, which will then usually go to announcement to say that they're currently closed, to go to an online booking website to make a booking, or if they're open, to go directly to the restaurant phone and ring that and have an on-hold feature. So if they have multiple calls, they can all sit there in the queue on hold. And then after a certain period of time that they nominate, it can go to a voicemail so they can collect those so it's not constantly ringing. In this scenario as well, you can see that they've got from 10 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Wednesday to Sunday, and then from 6 to 11 Wednesday to Sunday. So what this means is if it matches these parameters in here, it matches, it will go straight to that queue and ring through the scenario we're just talking about.
On the other hand, medical practices are similar in a way, but will generally have a time condition set for their opening hours, where if it does not match, it goes automatically to a voicemail. If it does match, it can go to a queue where the receptionist can take the call and then either transfer it to the doctor or the practitioner it matches for. Again, this is also very good because these days doctors or practitioners don't necessarily just work out of one place. Effectively, they can work out of multiple places, but their phone number goes with them.
Now, with professional services such as VoIP Cloud or VoIP Line and many others, we like to have something a bit more on the complex side or a bit more features packed into it. So in this example, you can see some of the similar recurring features such as time conditions and voicemails. but we do have voice menus as well. So with the voice menu, commonly known as like an IVR or an auto attendant, you can go option 1, option 2, or an option 3. And in this scenario, if you notice option 2, it rings an accounts team. However, that will then overflow to the next, which is the receptions team. So essentially, you can have many different scenarios, such as call queues on call queues, or you can even have option 1 go directly to a voicemail. So it's very flexible in that regards. So as we've shown you today, everything is quite flexible. So many different use cases there. We'll take you through a live product demonstration on purchasing and using our platform. I'll just bring that up now for you. So this is our customer portal. So within here, this is where all the magic happens. So where you can set all your services up and manage them. Now, the first thing is to purchase services. We can go into the services and we can see all the different features and all the different services we have on the left-hand side here. This is the stuff that we need to add to make sure that we can utilize the PBX. So under the PBX licenses tab, we can add a user here by clicking this add a user option. In here, this automatically adds one user with one device attached to it, where you can add more devices if you want that person to access multiple different locations, such as a mobile device or the desktop application. You can add that as we go. Call plans, you can select from the many different call plans that we offer. And if we're doing a virtual mobile number, you can have an SMS plan. So today we will add one user with the pay-as-you-go plan and the SMS startup. Now, phone number is quite easy. So you can either port your number across to us by using the number porting application under the number porting tab. You click add and fill out all the details required. Or you can go to phone numbers. So under phone numbers, this is where you can order new numbers. Or if you do have active numbers, which we will in a second, you'll be able to see them here. So under order new numbers, you can do a range of filters. So for today's demonstration, we'll do, let's say, mobile numbers with SMS enabled. Now you can see a list of numbers will pop up and I can select from that list of numbers. When I select it, it will ask me to go in here and select the call plan for that number, which will be a virtual mobile number. And that will define the cost of that number. So obviously your local landlines and everything else will have different costs. And as you select, you can see it here. At the moment, I haven't put any charges through, so you can always explore to see the different options, especially if you're going for international destinations. You can always explore the number range and all the information that you need. In this case, I can see that I'm going to have a once-off activation fee of $22, purchasing a number for $7.95 per month, the current rate, and there's no inbound call costs on this one. So when I hit agree to services down here and submit the order, the system itself will start processing that. So it's going to instantly add that number to my account, as well as add these licenses that I've decided to purchase here. Now the number will instantly be activated once this has been processed and added to the account. All I have to do to start receiving calls or making calls using this number, as this prompt says, is configure it. So if I go into the PBX tab here, I can start configuring it. So this is your live working environment. So on the left-hand side here, you have all the features that you can utilize within our platform. Today, just for simplicity, we'll start with a user. The user in this case will be the foundation of what we're going to build our call flow around. We'll be adding the user to different queues and stuff like that, so we can see the flexibility there. But essentially, to configure any of these objects that you drop in, you can just hover over it and then click on the settings gear. When you click on the settings gear, you can give this user a name. You can enter their email address. You can nominate a 4-digit number. So if you wanted an internal number for like an extension for users to transfer to each other, you can nominate one. So let's put 9,000 for this range. My next user I might nominate as 9001, and you can continue that range as you go. I can select my license sub-account, which assigns the services that I've just selected, such as the call plan and the SMS plan. And I can select the number that I'm going to be using. In this case, we've got default caller ID set up, so we'll utilize that within the PBX. Now, on the right-hand side here, we've got the green option, which will allow us to add a device configuration. We have many different device configurations. Obviously, we have the Webphone, which is our in-house built application, which can be done using browser, desktop version, or mobile. Now, this is across Android and iOS and your Mac and everything like that. So we do cover all that. Even Linux. So we do cover that for the desktop versions. Now, if you did decide you wanted to connect to a physical desk phone, as long as it's SIP compliant, you can do that. When you use a SIP device details here, you'll get information such as your SIP server and your SIP login details and password to utilize within a platform. We do also have Microsoft Teams integrations with the Microsoft direct routing, which you can utilize. You just need to configure your DNS settings and everything within the services tab. But for today's demonstration, we'll be utilizing the desktop application. So when I click on it, if I have no free web phones for that particular device or that one that I've selected, you can hit create a new web phone. What the system will do is create that credentials and everything like that within the platform for it to connect to this particular user. So at the moment, I've just created it. It is just free floating. So if I hit not defined, it's not going to let me do anything. Or if I hit cancel, it doesn't add here. But if I go back in and click on Webphone Desktop, it will be sitting here. As long as I've gone back in, I can select it and click add. It will add it directly to the user. Now, once I've clicked add, I can then click save. So notice will pop up telling you that your user you've nominated here is going to get an invite for the web phone once you hit apply configuration. So once I hit apply configuration, that user is going to get a web phone invite. That web phone invite contains a link that they can click. That link will allow them to set their password as well as download the application to the desktop. If you did select mobile, it'll let them download it to the mobile. You select a browser, it'll let them log into the browser themselves. Now, in this case, we've just got the user. They're sitting there, their device is set up, and that user will go off and set their password. That's where they'll be able to use the dial pad to make and receive calls, as well as to receive their text messages. Now, the call routing. How is our call going to get from the inbound number, which we'll utilize, to this user? For today's demonstration, we'll make a bit more of a complex normal business setup, but more than just an inbound number to a user, we'll add a few more features. So clicking on the inbound number, dragging it in and dropping it, we're going to click on the little settings gear. So that number that I've purchased from the services tab can be added in here now. So when I click on available numbers and move that across, that will be in included numbers. I can name this if I want to as well. So you can name it, let's say business A. Let's say I'm going to have many different businesses in here or different flows. You can definitely name each of them. The good thing is, as the call comes through to your user as well, this inbound number name will be displayed for them too. So if you have one user taking multiple calls through different businesses or different numbers, that will all be displayed. Now, for this scenario, I'm going to use a time condition to start off with. I'm going to add 2 time conditions. This is quite a logical system. So the way you've got to think about it is you're creating flowcharts. So these little dots connect to each other. So I want my inbound number to go first to this time condition. Now, with this time condition, the reason I have 2 is because we have public holidays. No one wants to work on a public holiday or take the calls then. So what we're going to do is make sure that the calls will go directly to a voicemail that we'll set up. So in this case, inbound number is going to this time condition. Let's add the voicemail so we can connect it as well. But with this, we're going to go and hover over the time condition setting and click on the settings gear. Now in here, you can name your time condition. Let's call this public holiday. We'll put an S on it, holidays. We'll put multiple in. You can elect your time zone depending on where you want the calls to be routed from or routing to. And you can add time conditions. So what we'll do in this case is we're going to add days of the week, days of the month, and months, just so you can see the versatility behind it. Days of the week will allow you to select Monday to Friday if you wanted to. If you wanted to be more specific, you can use days of the month. So the most popular one is the 25th of December. So we can add 25th of December. We can select just the single day, so 25th. Or if we wanted to, if we're closing Boxing Day too, you could go 25th to the 26th, and then you can elect the months. So we can just say December in this case. So in this case, on the 25th to the 26th of December, it is going to follow this particular route that we set up. You can also do multiple. So in this case, if I went months December to January, what will happen is in December to January, on the 25th and the 26th of both of these months, it will close. So just be careful when setting these to make sure that they're correct and matching the dates you want. If I wanted to add another group, let's say we wanted to add in another one for the first of the month, I can go months. For the first of the year, let's go January, and we will add in days of the month. We're going to add in January 1st. So as you want to add more and more and more, you can just keep adding groups here. Now, in this, you do have an option to apply it to all your time conditions. If you have multiple ones, you might have multiple ones for different locations where you have the same opening hours. You can apply to all by selecting all. In this case, I want this to be a unique time condition, so I'm only saving it to this object. Now, with time conditions, there's going to be two things. It's either going to match these dates and months in here or these times, or it's not going to match. So when I drag and connect, you can see one little dot will appear and I can connect to one thing, and then another one will appear. So I can connect that to a second. So you've got two outcomes here. Now, at the moment, it has set to what I wanted it to. So matches goes to the voicemail. So on these days that I'm closed, I want it to directly go to this voicemail. But if I wanted to change this around, I can actually click on them and change them around. Just as simple as that. Now, with my matches, it's going to this voicemail. So the voicemail has quite a few different things that you can do. You can add your Webphone users so they can access it directly from here with the local storage. So basically on your Webphone users, they'll be able to go into the services tab and check voicemails. Anyone can log in here as well and open the local storage, and it will see it all here. So all the voicemails will be listed. Otherwise, if you wanted to, you can have voicemail to email set up. So this way you can have your voicemails go to a dedicated voicemail for yourself, as well as you can name it. So we can just call this closed voicemail. The other benefit to it as well is there is advanced settings just down here where you can add a specific subject name. So that'll override our default system. Instead of just saying voicemail received, you can specifically name it. And this is useful if you have multiple voicemail arms set up in the platform. So we've got someone calls me, goes to this time condition, goes to this voicemail. Let's look at what happens if it's not a public holiday. So if it's not a public holiday, I'm going to want normal opening hours. I'm going to add back to what we were talking about earlier, days of the week, and let's add some hours in instead. So we're going to say Monday to Friday between the hours of 9 and then till 5, keeping in mind it is 24 hours. So just setting that. It will go here. Now, just like we did with the other one, we're going to get two outcomes. So as you go through, you can slide through using your mouse wheel. You can go in and out or using our prompts here. So as you can see, I'm just simply dragging through. It's very seamless as you start using it. Now, what we're going to do is this time condition, we're going to add another voicemail. Maybe this one we've uploaded a custom greeting to say, thank you for calling, we're closed during public holidays. This one here, we're going to add in We're going to make sure this says does not match, because if it does not match these hours, we're closed. We can go in here and name this one. So with this one, we're going to call it after hours voicemail. One thing that we didn't touch on was greeting. You can do a default greeting, custom greeting, where you can upload your own file, or you can record your own voice, or if you didn't want to have a greeting, you can disable it. In most cases, people will record their own voice and upload that, but also you can just use the professional recording system under the services. Now, with this one, we've got one little tab here that we need to connect. So let's add a voice menu in. So if I go down, I can see voice menu here. I can connect that voice menu to our platform, to our little time condition, and then I can start deciding what options I want. Now, the useful thing with the system as well is up here you have a little search function. So let's say I want a caller ID prefix. I can type caller. Now I'm going to get caller ID. So what the caller ID prefix will allow me to do is to connect a voice menu or one of these routes directly to it. Now with this, I can name this. So let's say in my option 1, I want it to say sales when it comes through to my user on the web phone. So as you can see here, if I say sales, it will say sales in front of it. Then it will show the customers or the callers caller ID. Now with your voice menu as well, you can nominate multiple different options. And just as you can do with the time conditions, you can click these options and you can change the time. So if I wanted sales to be, let's say, timeout as well. So it times out, as well as it goes directly to here. I can connect multiple options to it. I can change these options. So let's say timeout, invalid, and option 1. So that means if someone doesn't interact with my voice menu and it times out, it goes here. If someone interacts with it and pushes an option that isn't in there, invalid, it will go to this option. Or if they just push option 1, it will go here. The way that you can upload your recordings as well into the voice menu, just similar to all the other objects, you can go into the settings and you can upload a file. Or you can just use the record your own voice option. So when you click that option on any of the voice menus or voicemails, you can just record it and we'll just go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and you can stop it. That will play the recording as well as you can download it if you want to for your own keeping. So now we have that voice menu set up. We do have the advanced parameters we're talking about. So you've got here when they make their selections, when they make the invalid prompts, what you want to play. And another little thing about the voice menu, you do have allow calling to internal numbers. So that internal number we set up on our user earlier, the 9000, we can allow callers to call that directly if they wanted to. So you may have a prompt or an upload to say push 1 for sales, and then after you go through all your options, you may have or dial the internal number of the person you're trying to reach. You don't have to, but it is an option. Now with this, let's just say option 2 just goes to an announcement. So we can use an announcement feature in here. Just go directly to an announcement. And again, we can do a quick little recording. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then save it. So basically I've got 2 options. They're going to come in, push sales, or 2 to listen to this recording. Now, generally it can just hang up, but if you want to, you can loop that back to the voice menu. So a lot of businesses, if they have crucial information that they want to convey to their customers, such as opening hours or upcoming events, may have an announcement here that then will loop back onto the voice menu instead of hanging up on the customer. Now, one of the things we need to do is set up where this actually goes for sales. So each of these options, we want these users to be able to answer the call. So if sales comes in, we can add that call queue. So within the call queue, I can go connect from sales prefix. Now, you can name these call queues. You can nominate internal numbers, so you may have a different range to what your users are. You can set ring modes, so ring all, linear, round robin, or least recent. And then you can choose to add users. So we'll add users here. On the right-hand side, you've got a bit of configuration you can do. You can have a greeting. So some of our customers may have, "Thank you for calling. We'll be with you shortly." You can have play ringtone, so it just rings instead of playing music. Or you can have hold music. I'll go into a bit more over the advanced settings a bit later, but you can upload your own hold music, which will be under the settings tab. In here, you can play periodic announcements. So if you have a promotion or a deal or want to convey some information. So if you're a tech company and you want to tell customers that you have an online knowledge base, you can tell them to go here and do that. You can nominate how often that plays. And if you wanted to, you can nominate an exit code. So what an exit code is if you're in a call and you hear the message, "Thank you for calling. All our operators are currently busy. If you'd like a callback, push 1 now." And you can do that. So that's what an exit code is. I'll show you and demonstrate that in a second as well. Under here as well, you can nominate the wait time. So 10 minutes is set there. You can set for 2 minutes. So that means if your user or users are all on calls or do not disturb, that person in your call queue will wait for this maximum wait time, and then it will move on. In here, you have quite a few different little features as well. You can nominate and toggle on, depending on what you want to do. In here, you have announce the caller's position in queue, so that'll announce it to the person. Do you know our calls who are already calls to users who are already on a call? You can turn that on and off depending on what your preferences are. Announce the caller's wait time. So this will be to the actual user receiving the call. So this staff member here will hear in their headset or via the speakers how long that person's been waiting for. Don't show notifications about missed calls in the Webphone. So if you have multiple users and they're missing calls, you can nominate to turn that off or on, depending on what you want. You can count each missed call in user statistics as well as you can receive notifications about abandoned calls or timed out calls. So just in case you've got people who are on calls or busy, they can return the call later. Now, if I hit save here, we can see that there's another little dot. So in these cases, you could do multiple things as we've touched on. You can route to another queue, you can route to another voicemail, you could just leave it there and the call would hang up. But in most common businesses, they'll have a voicemail. So you can nominate that here for maximum wait time. So once it's gone past that maximum wait time that we've set earlier, it can go to another voicemail. And that voicemail could be a voicemail to email. The other option we do have is queue callback. So if someone leaves this queue, let's say they pushed option 1 for the callback. They've pushed the exit code, comes to this queue callback option. Within queue callback, we can add users in here that we want to automatically do these calls, and we can set the caller ID that we want to be used. What a queue callback is, it's an automatic operation of the system. As soon as that user is available, it will ring them on their device that they've got set up. That user will answer the call, and it will notify them this is a queue callback. So in those circumstances, they can be customers who have nominated to leave the queue, or if you wanted to, you could just have your maximum wait time overflow to a queue callback so people don't have to leave a voicemail. It all does come down to preference, but it is an option that is in there. Any users added to the queue callback, you can play around with the settings. They can choose to accept or decline, or it's just going to be automatically going to them. If your queue callback is not completed, you can enable notifications as well. You do have that option here. Now, as you can see, we've gone a bit into details, but basically this inbound number will check public holidays. If it matches, it goes to this specific voicemail. If it doesn't match, it will go through all these time conditions here. So if it's after hours, we've got a nice voicemail there. If it's during hours, you've got a voice menu. So option 1, timeout and invalid, will go this route this way. Option 2 will go to this announcement and then loop back to this. Now, with the system as well, you have quite a few little different things that you can do outside of just your call flow. You have Phonebooks. So within Phonebooks, you can add multiple different Phonebooks as you wish. So you can create a new Phonebook and then select it to add things to that Phonebook. You can add users to new Phonebooks as well. So instead of going into each individual user and adding them to it, you can add them just through the Phonebook itself and who you want to be able to access that Phonebook. You can set Phonebooks as default. So it's a default. When the user is assigned, it will automatically go to them. You can set read only and automatically update PBX user contacts. So as you add users, they will automatically be added to these Phonebooks. As you can see there, I've just gone add internal and it's added it here. With Phonebooks, you do have the option to do import and export. Just as a basic thing, you can do a CSV file, which just needs the first name and the name in general. So you can put first name and last name together, and then phone number. Now, under here as well, you've got settings. So within the settings, we have quite a few different things that you can play with. The main things here is your call flow. So if you do something with your call flow that you don't like and you've applied the configuration, you can always roll it back here, as well as you can export the call flow as you want or import call flow. So if you've got your call flow to a certain point at a certain date and you want to back up, you can export that. So you do have that option as well. In settings, you can see music on hold as well. So you can add the different groups and different collections as you wish, and you can have your music on hold play through those collections. Now, anytime you're making any updates to this PBX call flow and you're happy with them, hit apply configuration and that is instantly live. So anyone who calls this number will go through this call route. It is instant. There is no real delay to it. So you will see if I've changed the time condition, anyone new calling that number who wasn't in the call flow will automatically go through that time condition. So it's crucial when you're making these changes to be aware of that. Now, one thing with our system as well, we've got the number set up. We can do advanced things with that number. So if I go back to my services tab and go to active numbers, I can click on SMS routing. With SMS routing, we can do SMS to emails, or you can do SMS to user. So this means that user will be enabled to send and receive SMSs from that number. So I've gone in and enabled that now. So that is all ready to go. With our platform, as you can see, it's quite flexible. There is a lot of different things you can do. And this is just touching on the basics of businesses that will want just a general call flow on holds and everything like that. You do have quite a few feature-packed options in here as well. Now, the next thing within our system, you've got the reports. So after the PBX, you've got a good reports tab here where you get complete overviews, user statistics, queue statistics, and ring group statistics, and you can filter them as well. So you can click on the filter option to filter down to the particular ones or just get a complete overview. We also do have the support tab. So in the support tab, at any point, you can check network statuses, you can check any support tickets that you have lodged, as well as you can check the knowledge base. So everything within our platform is within our knowledge base. So you can go directly through the knowledge base here. The other amazing thing that we've done is within the PBX, if you're not sure on a feature, you can always drag and drop it in. So let's say I want to learn a bit more about inbound numbers. Drag and drop it in, go into it, click on the settings, and you will see the knowledge base articles here. So everything we've made here to make sure that everything is covered. So if I wanted to go into services at the top, I can go in, and each of these tabs, as you may or may have not noticed, has its own knowledge base article. So everything is covered. But saying that, there is always support to reach out to as well if you do get stuck with the platform. I think that will be it for that particular one. We can move on to the Q&A. Dean, anything that you wanted to add in there, or any interesting points I may have missed?
No, I think, obviously the big thing is, especially with regards to the scalability. In the old days where you used to have to go and buy a phone or a computer, these days you can literally spend 1 minute, add the user in, send them an email, and literally they're added into the call flow as simply as that.
Exactly. I think one question I've got here that's popped up is in regards to services. So within the services tab and the call recordings and stuff like that, we do have those options. So we do have Microsoft Teams integrations. As mentioned, again, as you can see, we have the how to set up integration, but we do have Microsoft Teams direct routing through the gateway, which will be like SIP trunking, or we do have it on the user basis. So if you want to utilize our platform like this with the PBX and the call flow and everything like that, you'd be using Microsoft Teams users. If you wanted to direct all the traffic to Teams and start managing it through Teams, you'd use a gateway configuration. The other good things that we do have is call recording storage. So other than the call recordings to emails, you can choose to record your users' calls and then store them within our platform. So if I click on my reports tab, you can see it's not here currently, but if I go in and enable this package and add it to my account, so I've selected the pay-as-you-go package, nominated that I don't want to delete my recordings. If I go in, you can see the call recordings tab pops up, which is a great little thing there. And I've got a question about voice artists. So within the voice artist, we do have the two options. We have voice generated by AI, where you can listen to all the samples and create your own with the pitch and speed. Type out your message in here as you need to, and then generate that. You'll get a file that you can download and upload into the PBX into the custom fields. The other one we do have is a professional voice artist. So you can type out your script. You can listen to all the different options in here by going through them and selecting play, write your script out, and then generate that as well. As well as if you're into physical equipment, there is the physical equipment that you can purchase, as well as connecting these SIP compliant phones to the platform. I can't see any further questions popping up. I think the only other thing we probably should touch on is in this platform as well, you have two different options for recording calls. You have the call recording option that you can add directly to a call flow. So let's add that in. And I'm going to connect it right here after my sales. So basically it comes into the caller ID prefix, starts recording and goes to the queue. I can click on that setting and save it to the cloud storage because we've got that enabled now. I could send it to email depending on your preference. And the other option is if I did not want to just record a single line, I wanted to record each user. Under the users tab, you can go into the call recordings and supervision section where you can record each of their calls and save them automatically. So I've selected cloud storage and automatic. As well as if I'm a user on this system, I can dial this person's internal number and listen to calls live if you want to do training and quality. But I think that's basically it. Easy. So now that's it. Thanks for everyone for joining today, and we'll make sure that we send out this recording itself so you've each got an opportunity. We will be sharing our details on the screen as well. So if you ever want to reach out to us or any of our team, you can. Obviously, if you're existing, you can reach out to our technical support or us. We can definitely help you. Or if you're inquiring about becoming a reseller partner and offering this to your own customers, you can reach out to VoIP Cloud Wholesale. Or if you want to be a customer and utilize the system for yourself and you're happy with the self-managed platform with a bit of assistance, you can always contact VoIP Line Telecom. Thanks for joining today.
Thanks.